गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. So we are in Jnaneshwari Bhagavad Gita, commentary by Jnaneshwar Maharaj, and in the 17th chapter. And here Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, this Arjuna who is desireless in regards to all worldly objects and proficient in all arts, and wonder of wonders, who in his role as Arjuna attracts even Sri Krishna, who dwells in the heart of the Lord, who is the support of bravery, the ornament of the lunar rays, the lover of intelligence, the resting place of the Brahmic lore, spoke thus. Our Shraddha, our love, our capacity to understand the scriptures is directly proportional to our respect and reference to the scripture. I was listening to one lecture, and there one great Seth, he created this organization called Gita Press, Mr. Goenka or someone, and he was against Panchadashi, absolutely against Panchadashi. So he can never understand it. As much as we are in love and give the status of reality to the world, if we give that much important reverence and the status of reality to the scriptures as the words of the Lord Himself, then like this, in a flick of a finger, in a moment, the what is told in the scriptures will percolate within us. Arjuna did not do any sadhana that was given in the Bhagavad Gita. Why? He did not need to do. He had this ingredient, Shraddha. Towards whom? Towards the Lord. See? Parikshit Maharaj, he did not do any sadhana for 7 days. He just sat there and listened to the entire Bhagavatam as narrated by Shukdevji Maharaj. And he got realized. And we are still addicted. Do I do pranayam? Do I do japa? Am I doing the puja right? Am I doing the meditation right? What should I focus on in the meditation? Because all these questions arise from within, or arise within the mind, these doubts, these confusions, only because of one reason. We do not have faith and patience. As Sai Baba says, Shirdi Sai Baba, Shraddha and Saburi. Faith can move mountains. And we don't have. We want instantaneous result. Today I started meditation. Swamiji, nothing happened. What is going to happen? Nothing must happen. Then you are fine. So such Arjuna, who has utter faith in the Lord, in the greatness of the Lord, who knows the Lord is in his heart. Now he is in the 17th chapter. He has had the Vishwarup Darshan, he has seen the glory of the Lord, he has heard him for the 16 chapters, and his love and reverence is, with every passing shloka, is getting more embedded in his heart. What is getting embedded in his heart? The love for Lord Krishna. How does it express? How does this love express? As faith in Krishna. What are its ingredients of faith? Respect and reverence. When does respect and reverence come about for the Lord? When you stop giving respect and reverence to the changing world. See how it all connects. What else is included in the world? Not just the outside world, days and nights coming and going. No. You know the entire world only by way of thoughts. So you respect and revere your thoughts, your convictions, your ideas, your imaginations, your aspirations, your ambitions. Then as long as you are running after what you have decided, then when will Lord function? He says, okay, you do your bit, man. When you are available, then come to me. Then how to become available? Like Arjuna has become available. Like Parikshit ji has become available to Shukdev ji Maharaj. See, this is scientific. And the lab where you have to experiment is within yourself. Within your daily living. And here Arjuna in the so the reason, the last chapter, therefore the last chapter concluded, therefore let the scriptures be our authority for determining what is your duty and what is not. After knowing what is prescribed in the scriptures, you should do your work in this world. And Arjuna, when he is given this, that let the scriptures be your authority, Arjuna's question is that how do I think, here it will tell, or he asked last time, in the last towards the end of the last chapter, that people know what is right and wrong, but knowingly or unknowingly they are unable to follow the diktat of the scriptures to the T, exactly as it is given. Sometimes they follow only what their parents did. Their parents followed what their parents did. So they study Ramayana, they will do the Parayan of Bhagavad Gita, they will do the Parayan of Ramayana, they will do the Parayan of Jnaneshwari, they will do the Japa Sadhana. But when it comes to following the rituals, they may not follow it. But whatever they do, they are doing it with faith, with love for the Lord. What is their gati? Is that faith or not? Will they attain salvation or not? And in this manner, in this vein was the question of Arjuna. Now we are starting the first verse of the 17th chapter. Arjuna uvacha ye shastra vidhimutsrujya yajante shraddhayanvitaha ye shastra vidhimutsrujya yajante shraddhayanvitaha tesham nishtha tu ka Krishna tesham nishtha tu ka Krishna satvamaho rajastamaha satvamaho rajastamaha. Arjuna uvacha ye shastra vidhimutsrujya yajante shraddhayanvitaha tesham nishtha tu ka Krishna satvamaho rajastamaha. It says, the first verse, it says, Arjuna says, those who laying aside scriptural rule offer sacrifice full of faith, what is their standing? What is their destiny? What is their conclusion of their life? Is it one of purity, sattva? Is it of passion, rajas? Or is it of darkness, tamas? See? We are not talking about those people who are doing exactly opposite to the scriptures. We are not talking about the people who do not have faith in the scriptures at all. We are talking, as I said before, we are talking, Arjuna is asking about those people who have faith in the scriptures, but they find it too cumbersome. Maybe sometimes all the ingredients are not available. If the inner pull is there, you get up in the morning or in the middle of the night. I was giving you one example. One lady from Newcastle, in the middle of the night she gets up and she says, what do I do? I'm doing meditation. Oh, good, very good, keep doing it. So is she washing her mouth? Is she taking bath? Is she going to die? No. Oh my God, you are taking name of the Lord without cleaning yourself up. Those who are Kattarpanthi, those who are orthodox, oh papam, 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 papam. Huh? So here Arjuna is asking question about those people who have utter faith in the scriptures, but because of circumstances, because of time, because of space, because of lack of ingredients, are unable to offer sacrifice, unable to practice it to the T. And therefore, what do they practice? As I said before, they practice what their parents have been doing. They go and ask someone, and whatever the Guru Maharaj will say, they will start doing that. For them, the words of their elders, the words of their parents, the words of the Guru Maharaj is more important than the scriptures themselves. They don't want to take responsibility. See, गुरु के ऊपर डालो, उसने नहीं है तो उसकी गलती है, मेरी गलती कोई नहीं है. It's not my fault. So what happens to these people? What is their standing? Are they sattvic, rajasic or tamasic? So Jnaneshwar Maharaj now is saying, To Arjuna mane गातमाल श्यामा इंद्रियां फावलिया ब्रह्मा तुझा बोलू आम्हा साकाक्षु पैजी जे शास्त्रे वाचूनी आणिके प्राणिया स्वमोक्षु न देखे ऐसे का कैपखे बोलिलासी तरी न मिळेची तो देशु नव्हेची काळा अवकाशु जो करवी शास्त्राभ्यासु तो ही दूरी आणि अभ्यासी विरजिया होती जिया सामुग्रिया त्याही नाही आपैतिया तिये वेळी उजूनो हेची प्राचीन नेदीची प्रज्ञा संवाहन ऐसे ठेले आपादन शास्त्रांचे जया किंबहुना शास्त्रविखी एकही न लाहातीची नखी म्हणवनी उखी विखी सांडिली जिही परिनिर्धारुनी शास्त्रे अर्थानुष्ठाने पवित्रे नांदताती परत्रे साचारे जे. Jnaneshwar Maharaj says that, O Lord, he is giving the commentary on this first verse. He says, Arjuna says, O Lord, who are dark colored like a leaf of Tamala tree and the embodiment of Supreme Brahman manifest to the senses, your speech has raised some doubts in my mind. Whenever we want to ask a question, if we have a doubt in our mind, it must be asked with respect and reverence. Questions should not be asked to anyone, not only a teacher, to any elder or anyone, to test them. Majority of the time we are testing, or we are looking for a favorable answer. See, this is another big problem with human beings. We want a favorable answer because the question that we have asked, some are professional questioners. They ask a question for which they have decided what the answer is, and they like that Guru Maharaj whose answer is exactly what they have come to conclusion within their mind. खुजली है, वही क्वेश्चन पूछते रहेंगे सबसे. And therefore here see how he is respecting, revering the Lord, the embodiment of Supreme Brahman. Oh Krishna, you are the embodiment of Supreme Brahman. Manifest to the senses, that Nirgun Nirakar reality, Tattva, is manifest to the Panchendriyas and the mind, 6 senses, in the manifest form. That is Krishna. That is why he is called Purna Avatar. And to such a one, O Lord, now having prepared his mind by thinking about the Lord in this manner, he asks the question, how did you say that no one can attain salvation without strict adherence to the scriptures? See, there are 2 things. What is that? One is we must have love, respect and reverence for the scriptures and live our life according to the do's and don'ts given in the scriptures. Second, we must live a life which is free or desire oriented life. That we must be free of. When we live a life which is fueled by desires, then we cannot study the scriptures. See? So 2 things. On one hand, you keep studying the scriptures, and on other hand, you keep controlling your 6 senses, so that the quota, the measure of desire oriented activity out there in the world is reducing. To that extent, your respect and reverence and you are studying, because you all know, that's why you are listening to satsang, that scriptures are important. But how much faith do you have in them? Is it equivalent to your faith in the world? Is it to your equivalent or greater than your faith in your parents, your faith in your abilities, your faith in your making decisions, your faith that life is about waking, dream and sleep, your faith in earning money and maintaining your family? Is it greater than that? So those people who are doing these 2 things, following the scriptures with respect and reverence and adhering to the do's and don'ts, and on the other hand, they are following a desire-free life. We are not saying you should not eat. No, that is a need. That is not a desire. That is a need. Such people, Bhagwan says, attain salvation. Those who do not follow these 2 points, what I just mentioned, they cannot attain salvation. If you do not have respect for the scriptures and you live a desire-oriented life, you can keep taking birth after birth after birth after birth. No salvation possible. So see even our Yoga Sutra, Patanjali Yoga Sutra, they begin with Atha Yoga Anushasanam. These are the instructions of yoga. Why they have to say? Why can't they straight away say yoga is Chitta Vritti Nirodha iti yoga and then go on? Why was the first verse Atha Yoga Anushasanam? What was the reason? For that, you will see majority of the Upanishads, majority of the commentaries, they will begin with Atha or Om. Atha means therefore, now. What does that imply? That we have worked out everything that was possible for us to work out. We have analyzed everything that was to be analyzed out there in the world. And after doing all the experiments, analysis, assessments, now Atha Yoganushasanam. Now these are the instructions of the yoga. Now also means now. Become alert, become attentive, drop everything. Like when we go to the temple, what do? Any temple. First you take your chappals out and you hide them somewhere so no one steals them. Huh? Then what do? In India at least, there is some tap somewhere and you quickly go and wash your feet because you want to go clean, hygienically clean inside. When you go in, what is the first thing that you come across? In traditional temples, you will see a tortoise. You will see a dhajasthamb, and next to the sthamb in front of it will be a tortoise. How many limbs does the tortoise have? 4 and 1 head. So that is a reminder. So you climb the steps usually. If you go to Kedarnath, Badrinath, wherever, everywhere the steps are there. Steps are, you are giving up, the Prakriti, 36 Prakriti, 36 steps. 24 Prakriti, 24 steps. If your understanding is only 3 Prakritis or Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, you go beyond, you climb the steps. Then what do you do after that? Light the love for the Lord within. That is the Dhvajastham. That you are, with full faith you are coming there. But for faith to become dhrudha, become concrete, distractions have to be taken away. So what do? The tortoise is given. What is that tortoise? Just as the tortoise withdraws all its limbs inside the shell, when we enter the temple, we also withdraw all our senses within. And where is within? Our attention is on the sanctum sanctorium. Our attention is on the Lord. So now nothing in the world is distracting. Who is there in the temple? We have left it afterwards. The moment we see the Balaji or the Shivalinga or the Ganesha, a thrill passes through. If you are cool, calm, collected, with faith, a thrill passes through. Because you are not distracted by anything. See? This is now. This is Atha. This is Om. That you are as you are, completely naked, with full of faith, without any expectation, in the presence of the divine. See? Then there is no way that the divine will not reveal to you in some way or the other. We have to become empty. So here Bhagavan is telling, Arjuna is saying, how did you say that no one can attain salvation without strict adherence to the scriptures? Many persons may not find suitable time, place, a teacher, and other facilities for the study of the scriptures, or as a result of their past deeds, possess the necessary intelligence to study them. For these reasons, some men's study of scriptures may come to a stop, or some may give it up as they have no flair for it. Many people, I remember my days, early days, I wanted to read the Bhagavad Gita verses, but I did not know how to read. The tune I did not know. And I used to find it difficult where to break, and nobody taught me when I was a kid. See? And then what used to happen when I grew up? Again, as I told you, in one city I had the chance of getting the Bhagavad Gita. I used to open it, and as I'll start reading, before I finish the verse, I have gone to sleep. Why? Too difficult to understand. Presupposition that it is too difficult. If mind keeps repeating it is too difficult, with faith it is saying it is too difficult because it has got data. First time I went to sleep, second time I went to sleep, third time I went to sleep. And then after that it tries to avoid. Then what does it do? Choda yaar, Bhagavad Gita verses, I am in love with the form of the Lord, and just see the cover of the book. Did you buy the book to see the cover or to read the book? Read the scripture. So I used to be happy only looking at the form of Krishna, and the first 2-3 pages, different beautiful painting picture was there, and that used to be meditative. But when it came to the verses, it's too clished, it is too difficult. It's too difficult. So as Arjuna says here, many persons may not find suitable time. From morning till evening we are running. Now we are at home, so work is 24/7. Children are 24/7. Husband and wife are 24/7. And if everyone is at home 24/7, there is no end of cooking. They want breakfast, lunch, dinner, break, a snack after every 2 hours. Where is the time? But for the faithful, the time appears for them. If you have faith, time will appear. But anyway, they don't have the time. They are living in Bombay. One kholi, matchbox house. 7 people. Where am I supposed to meditate? No space. If I sit and meditate, don't make this noise, don't do that, don't go to shower, don't go to toilet, don't flush, don't laugh, don't speak. And now, why? I am meditating. Everyone will get together and throw you out of the house. And they'll be very gladly do that because they will have more space then, because one person less in the house. See? Less space. Teacher. Many teachers I approached also. One Mahatma I approached who came to Melbourne. I'm talking about in early 90s. And I said, I'm interested in studying the scriptures, this, that, and everything. The urge was there. So he said, okay, speak to my priest. He had come with his priest, who used to cook food for him also. And used to do the Chandi Yagya. So I called him, and he came home, we fed him. And then afterwards, I asked him the question. He says, yeah, you can come to Houston in America, $21,000 a year, 2 years, I'll teach you everything. 21,000 US dollars. I said, thank you very much. Took him back to the place where he was staying with the Swami. And I still visited, but that Capacity is not there. Capacity is not there. And throughout childhood, I have heard and studied and read the comics where knowledge was given free. The scriptural knowledge was given free, always. And a person who's in the beginning only is asking money, with what authority will he teach me? With what authority will he teach me? If his interest is only the money. See? So, a teacher and other facilities for the study of the scriptures as a result of their past deeds. Every person is a product of their own convictions. Our swabhav, Nagraj is Nagraj, Surendran is Surendran. Every person is unique. What is it that is making it unique, making each person unique? It is their swabhav. And what is swabhav? So, with what convictions, with what programming, with what vasanas you have come into this life. You only ordered it. You only decided to come in this life, and you only decided, I want this. When did you decide? When you breathed your last. At that time you decided whatever the thought was. If it was the thought of the deer, you will be born deer like the Bharat Maharaj. So you decided. And at the time of death is the summum bonum, is the balance sheet of your total life, of all your convictions which have remained as impressions within your mind. And that makes our character, that makes our swabhav. And because of swabhav, we don't, even if Sanskrit is available, we are not ready to study Sanskrit. Even if satsang is available, we are not ready to listen to satsang. Because ego. No, I want to start from the beginning. Someone asked me. I said, hey, listen, what you asked me, it's good. Many months ago. I said, you come and listen. Maybe your question is answered in that particular satsang. How do you know that you are the worst of the worst? It's good you think that way. I did not. We all did not become seekers by birth. At a particular age in our life, suddenly the urge, the longing, the thirst to know the truth, to think, contemplate on the Lord, it got ignited within us, isn't it? We were not born that way. See? Arjun also, he did not. From childhood, he was only trying to save his life from the Kauravas. Where's the question of devotion? Where's the question of Krishna? Where's the question of higher? Nothing. His swabhav was to become the Savyasachin. His swabhav was that he was straightforward. He was, he was dexterous. He did everything with full involvement, very focused, single-pointed, and pure of heart. That was his nature. Yudhishthir's nature, swabhav, was that of dharma. He knew what is right and wrong in any given situation. So Lord did not come in their life in the childhood. The Lord came at the appropriate moment. He felt it was the right time. My parents did not send me to a Gurukul or ashram in the childhood. When it got matured at a particular time, when Shankaracharya lived for 32 years. At 32, I went to the ashram. He completed his life at 32. I began my journey on 32. Look, Where's the connection? So everything. So with that person, when he said, I said, maybe you start, maybe all this, you don't need to go through rituals and japa and you don't know who you are. Maybe it clicks. Who knows? It's only one click is required. Once the grace has to flow. See? When we were in the ashram, many were all different types of characters. One person is every morning, afternoon, he will keep doing the pujas and pujas and pujas. I used to do japa, no puja. I was not interested in puja. Naturally, it was not there. But when Swamiji taught us, I did it religiously. For almost a year, I did it. But after few months after of doing it regularly, in the middle of the puja, when I am chanting the 108 names of the Lord, I used to go into meditation. Now what to do after that? Feel guilty that I did not complete it. Because then the bell rang, you have to go to the class. Oh my God, the puja is left halfway. Initially, I used to feel bad. See? And then slowly, I used to put the tika, I used to put the mala, I used to put all the... you have to look like Swami, no? Slowly, slowly, everything dropped away. When it was meant to drop away. See? So same way, many people here, as Arjuna is saying, that is his doubt. Maybe that doubt is when he is thinking about himself, where he is. He says that I know everything and other people also, they know everything, but because of time, space, teachers, circumstances, ingredients, etc., are not allowing that person to follow all the do's and don'ts, isn't it? Many persons, for these reasons, some men's study of scriptures may come to a stop, or some may give it up as they have no flair for it. Jnaneshwar Maharaj's father, what happened to him? He renounced after marriage, went to Varanasi, was there with the Mahatma in the ashram as the manager, as the sevak, and then his Guru Maharaj went again, and when he found out that his wife was there and he had given her a blessing that Saubhagyavati Bhava, she said, take it back. So he had the power. He saw, her husband is my sevak only. Instead of going to Rameshwar from Alandi, he turned back again to Varanasi and said, go back. So he was unable to continue his practices there as he had envisaged. He had taken renunciation, but had to come back. Because Guru Agya, what to do? Are you going to do Avahela of Guru Agya? Are you going to disregard the diktat of the Guru? If Lord comes tomorrow and says, come, let's go to Vaikunt. I got my wife, my children are small, they have to get married, I have to see my grandchildren, then please come and then I'll come with you. Are you going to do? So, here, and some may give it up as they have no flair for it. Some people, out of following the masses, sheep mentality, everyone is going to satsang, so let's go for satsang. But like I gave this example when we were studying with Swamiji in the ashram, one day one trustee of that ashram, they came early in the morning. The car came, braked, forward, backward, and inside the class, Upanishad is being taught. Fiat. Eventually he stopped because he wanted to turn around the car, and then when he wanted to leave, he can drive straight away. And then came, and it's not no elegance, no respect. Crack! The door opened and came inside. Swamiji was quiet. He sat down. Okay, trustee, you can't say anything. Then the satsang began. The lecture continued. And suddenly in the middle, Swamiji, can I say something? Swamiji said, okay. He said, are these students not tired of listening to Brahman, 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 snake and the rope, snake and the rope, snake and the rope? Who can speak like this? Who can speak like this? He who has got no flair, he has got no interest, who is not ready to be exposed. He wants only position, trustee. He's beating us who are studying for 2 years. To be Brahma with Brahmaiva Bhavati. He says, I pity these students. Whole day they are listening to Brahman, 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 Brahman. Is there no other topic other than this in the scriptures? Swamiji, who was always cool, that day we saw, in a very cool, calm, controlled manner, but with firm conviction, he said, please get up. So he, his wife, his 2 kids got up. Get out of this room now. Otherwise I'll have to call the security. He's telling the trustee, get out right now. See? The reason I gave that example is that person was not cut out to listen to scriptures. Majority of the people go in the scriptures, satsang, unlike you all. Half of them are sleeping. Half of them are comparing the lecture or some point in the lecture with something they have heard somewhere else or read somewhere else. Some people, when the example is given, they see how their wife and how their children are doing the wrong thing. They are not subjective. They are not applying it on themselves. They are seeing how others are doing the wrong, and I am Baba attending the satsang. So no flair for it. And then he continues, तया ऐसी आम्ही होआवे ऐसी चाड बांधो निजीवे घेती तयाचे मागावे आचरावया धड्याची आखरा तळी बाळली हे दातारा का पुढासूनी पडी करा अक्षमू चाले तैसे सर्वशास्त्र निपुण तयाचे जे आचरण तेची करीती प्रमाण आपलिये श्रद्धे मग शिवादिके पूजने भूम्यादिके महादाने अग्निहोत्रादि यजने करीती जे श्रद्धा तया सत्वरजतमा माझी कोण पुरुषोत्तमा गती होयते आम्हा सांगी जोजी. He says, Arjuna is saying, still they longing to be like those who have performed actions as laid down by the scriptures and enjoyed happiness in the next world would like to follow their path. They want the goods. They want the result. But they don't want to do the hard work. They don't want to do the ritual. No. But going to heaven, yes, I want heaven. You want to be happy all the time? Yes, I want to be happy. For that you have to give up desire. No, don't ask me to give up anything, But I want realization. I want to be happy all the time. No, but Baba, desires give you only temporary happiness. If you contemplate on the Lord, it will give you permanent happiness. No, no, don't ask me to give up the world. I want to be in the world and I want to be permanently happy. Don't ask me to do anything. Arjuna did not do anything, you only told just now. Parikshit did not do anything, you only said, I want that type of spirituality. That I don't have to do anything and everything happens. See? Still they longing to be like those, because people have come across Mahatmas who are happy for no reason. They don't want anything, they don't like or dislike anything, they have got hatred for no one. Read the Shirdi Sai Baba Pothi, see how many people were against him. The greatness and the fame of Shirdi Sai Baba is now. When he was alive, majority people were against him. Very few people were with him. They used to think he's a Jadoo Tona fellow, he's a magician, etc. etc. See? So, but just like we see, how is it possible for Ammachi to hug 10,000 people without a break? And she's still smiling. How can these Mahatmas whom we come across, how can they be in a happy disposition in spite of everything? Why do I feel so nice when I'm in their presence? They also would long to be like those who have performed actions. So we see many people doing puja every day, morning, evening. We have come across people from morning till evening, they are chanting the name of the Lord. See, when Amma was here in Taylor's Lake, I used to have classes at her house, and there the gentleman's mother, she had one room. Very rarely she used to come out. If I am taking a class, she will come and sit outside. Class gets over, and before the class, she is in her room. And what is she doing whole day? Either she is chanting Jai Shri Krishna, because you can't chant all the day. Then other time she is reading Bhagavatam, and then she gets tired of that. Then she has got notebooks. She is writing the mantra Jai Shri Krishna. Then when she gets tired of that, then she does something else. Whole day she spends only thinking of Krishna. Divine lady. Just being in her presence was to be in the presence of divinity. See? We want to be like that, but her daughter-in-law, yeah, mother-in-law is fantastic. I don't know how we can be like that. I think in my life I will never be able to be like that. Why? No, I enjoy parties, I like movies, I like doing this, I want this, I got such a big list of things to do in life. So she's seeing her, but she's not able to follow. As laid down by the scriptures, and enjoyed happiness in the next world, would like to follow their path. So we don't know what the next world is. We don't know whether we are going to heaven or hell. We don't know whether we are going to be realized, become one with the Lord, going to Vaikuntha. But if that lady whose presence was that of invoking inspiration in anyone, a beautiful smile, sparkling eyes, see, Now she must have gone after she left the body. She must have gone to a good destination. We also want to go, but without doing anything. I don't know how she manages whole day inside the room. I can't sit inside the room even for 5 minutes. But I want what she got. I want everything in shortcut. I don't want to do the hard yaka, Australian slang. I don't want to put in the hard work that is required. O gracious master, just as a child copies letters after seeing them in a lesson, or a blind person goes behind one with good sight walking ahead, so they regard as authoritative the conduct of persons proficient in all scriptures and follow their path in full faith. So these people, they are not following scriptures, okay? Now, we are not talking about the non-believers. We are not talking about the non-believers of scriptures. We are talking about those people who find it difficult to follow the scriptures to the T, and therefore they have faith in their elder, in their Guru Maharaj. See, here you are sitting in front, and what are you doing? What are you doing? I want some answers. It's not a test.
Listening, Swamiji.
Listening. See? Yeah. So you are listening. Now, what are we going to absorb is directly proportional to your availability. Understand? It is in Vedanta, in the Gyan Marg, the entire responsibility is of the seeker. He has to change. Guru knows, the teacher knows, he cannot change anyone. Because if you expose yourself to the Amrit Anubhav, self is complete. Self is the Guru Tattva. It is always as it is. The disciple needs to change. The student needs to change. The mind needs to change. See? The total onus, total responsibility is on you. But when we follow those who follow Avdhut Maharaj, those who follow Gajanan Maharaj, those who follow Sai Baba, if you have seen the serials, those people have never, those followers have never read any scriptures. They follow only what Sai Baba tells them to do. They will follow only what Shankar Maharaj tells them to do. They will only follow what Gajanan Maharaj tells them to do. They have given up all their will. Or if they have not asked what should I do in my life, they just follow what the Mahatmas or what the elders are doing. They will also follow that. Just like in the different families, say some ways of doing puja or some chanting of mantras. It's going on generation after generation. So he says here, they regard as authoritative the conduct of persons proficient in all scriptures and follow their path in full faith. They perform the worship in great faith of gods such as Lord Shiva, give liberal gifts of land and perform sacrifices such as offering daily oblations to the fire Agnihotra. Tell me, O Supreme Person, the fate of such persons, whether it is Sattvic, Rajasic or Tamasic. Please tell us, what is the fate of these persons? Because Arjuna has not practiced anything. Maybe he is subjectively thinking that way and he is asking the question, what is my what is my fate? Am I Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic? Because Daivik Sampatti was Sattvic, wasn't it? Previous chapter. And the Asuri Sampatti was Tamasic. So am I, Arjuna may be asking that am I lazy or am I pure? But I am asking questions, so it is Rajasic also. But is this activity, this these questions, this activity which is emanating out of me, is it on the foundation of purity or is it on the foundation of laziness? Purity, sattva, laziness, tamas. So which one am I? I am at a conundrum. I don't know. Please tell me, O Lord. Tell me, O Supreme Person, the fate of such persons, whether it is sattvic, rajasic or tamasic. And in this way, the next few verses, तव वैकुंठ पीठीचे लिंग जो निगम पद्माचा पराग जिये जयाचे निहे जग अंगच्छाया काळ सावियाची वाढू लोकोत्तर प्रौढू अद्वितीय गूढू आनंद घनू इये श्लाघिजती जेणे बिके ते जयाचे आंगी असिके तो श्रीकृष्ण स्वमुखे बोलत असे. Then spoke Lord Krishna, the Lord of Vaikuntha, who is like pollen in the lotus in the form of the Vedas, in whose shade this universe subsists, who is Kala, the time, endowed with great dignity and majesty and with power through which all virtues receive acclaim, who is one without a second, mysterious and blissful. Again, Bhagavad Gita has come out of the mouth of Lord Shri Krishna. Unless and until we do not have love, respect, reverence, we are not in tune with Krishna. Therefore, we, at the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, our teacher told us, if you want to know Bhagavad Gita and understand Bhagavad Gita in one go, do not wear the shoes of Arjuna, wear the shoes of Krishna, who was able to present such a mysterious, difficult, complicated, it seems for us, topic. How beautifully he has narrated with a perfect flow from karma to dhyan to bhakti to kshetrajna, then guna traya vibhaga yogo, and then daivi sampatti, and now shraddha, and now samadhan will be the next chapter. Who can do this? Only who has the complete picture in front of him. The complete mind map is there in front of him. See? The students in a room are looking and they have to draw what they see. In the middle of the in the middle of the circle, a particular object is kept. Everyone draws, and then each student has to give their what they have drawn to the guy who is sitting opposite them. All of them fail. But from teacher's point of view, everyone has passed, isn't it? Because he has the total view. The students have only one view. My view is the correct view. They are not able to think out of the box. So Krishna, who is the Adhar, who is the material of which this entire creation is created, who knows the past, present, future, and yet he is beyond birth, he is unborn, he is eternal, he is all-knowing. For him, with that knowledge, with that disposition, he is able to present, he is ready to, he is laying a buffet of words, ideas, of journey, of how to excel yourself in life systematically. And he has to start from where everyone starts. What is that? Vishada Yoga. identity crisis, depression, not knowing what is right and what is wrong, confusion. See? But if we remain as a student, both are here. Krishna is also within us, Arjuna is also within us. Apply yourself. Understand the scriptures from the point of view of Krishna. Apply yourself like Arjuna in the life. Now Bhagavan says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Trividha Bhavati Shraddha Trividha Bhavati Shraddha Dehinam Sa Swabhavaja Dehinam Sa Swabhavaja Satviki Rajasi Chaiva Satviki Rajasi Chaiva Tamasi Cheti Tam Shrunu Tamasi Cheti Tam Shrunu Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Trividha Bhavati Shraddha Dehinam Sa Swabhavaja Satviki Rajasi Chaiva Tamasi Cheti Tam Shrunu. The Lord said, threefold is the inborn faith of embodied beings. It is pure, passionate and dark. Hear about it. He did not say, Arjuna, you are this. He did not say. He is explaining. We want the answer straight away. Come to the point, come to the point, come to the point. Three number is the inborn faith of embodied beings. Embodied beings, Jivatma. Though the individual, the person who considers himself to be the body is the Jivatma, is the embodied being. So what does he say? Mane partha tuzha atiso he hi am hi janataso जे शास्त्राभ्यासाच्या आडसो मानितोसी की नुसधियाची श्रद्धा झोबो पाहसी परमपदा तरी तैसे हे प्रबुद्धा सोहोपे नो हे श्रद्धा म्हणितलियासाठी पाते जो नये किरीटी काय द्विजू अंत्यज घृष्टीम अंत्यजू नो हे गंगोदक जरी झाले तरी मध्य भांडा आले ते घेऊ नये काही केले विचारी पा चंदनु होय शीतळू परी अग्निसी पावे मेळू तै हाती धरिता जाळू न शके काही का किडाची एक आटतिये पुटी पडिले सोळे किरीटी घेतले चोखासाठी नागविना नो घेतले चोखासाठी नागविना तैसे श्रद्धेचे दळवाडे अंगे कीर चोखडे परी प्राणियांचा पडे विभागी जय. He says that the Lord said, Bhagavan is answering the question of Arjuna, O Partha, Partha, what does Partha mean? Anyone? What is Partha?
Friend, Swami.
What is the meaning of Partha? The son of Prutha. Prutha, another name of Kunti. And Prutha has come from Prithvi. She is the daughter of the earth. And therefore, Partha. I know what is in your mind. See, Bhagavan knows what is in his mind. Just like that teacher knew what is in the mind of all the students who are drawing that particular object in the middle of the circle from different angles. And why they have given it wrong. to the other city. When they exchanged their papers, why everyone failed? The teacher knows. I know what is in your mind. You find the study of scriptures difficult and wish to attain liberation only with faith, but that to a wise one is not so easy. See, who comes to study of the scriptures? Study of the scripture is which path? I am asking. Gyan Marg. Gyan Marg, isn't it? For Gyan Marg, what do you need to, what is employed in Gyan Marg? Your intellect. You have to think. You have to debate within yourself. You have to face the shortcomings within yourself. The intellect has to change its old notions, wrong interactions. It has to make the decision. In faith, what is required? In Gyan Marg, you require intellect. In devotion, what do you require? हाँ? श्रद्धा. श्रद्धा की तो बात ही कर रहे हैं ना. Mind. That is where the faith is there. The emotions are there. I love Krishna. Oh, we went to, where we went? We went to Ayodhya. Oh my God, now, tomorrow, the Ram Janma Bhoomi Puja is going to be held. I went to Ayodhya and came. See? Did you do any puja? No. Did you do any japa? No. Then what did you do? Oh, I visited. Tourist. I went, I blessed Ayodhya and came back by my presence. Stupid. See? But what?
Given on big Swamiji.
Huh?
Given on big Swamiji.
See, so not everyone is able to follow the scriptures. So what they do? They fall in love with the form of the Lord. That's why we went to Ayodhya, no? We are in love with Lord Ram and we wanted to see the place where Lord Ram is born. And why did we take all the difficulties, go overnight by train for 17-18 hours, went through that uncomfortable journey? Because we are in love with him. It's easier to follow love than take responsibility of thinking and contemplation and understanding. See? And when we are not even able to do this, when the ego is a bit strong, it's not ready to surrender to the Lord. It's not ready to follow the diktat of the Lord. And those who believe that I have to do something in order to be a devotee of the Lord, I have to do something in order to prove to the Lord that I am qualified, they get into the rituals. Puja every day, Agnihotra every day. Is it wrong? No. It's not wrong. Puja, Archa, Havan, Agnihotra, hygiene, non-violence, etc. in the outer world, that is on the periphery of your personality. As you become purified, you become a devotee. The climax of the devotion is knowledge. But every person is different. Some people are intellectual, some people are emotional, some people are workaholics, some people are Every person is unique. So here Bhagavan is saying that I know that you don't have an attraction to study the scriptures. He is telling Arjuna. Someone's computer is on. Huh? So he says, I know what is in your mind, that you find the study of scriptures difficult and wish to attain liberation only with faith, only with devotion. But that too, O wise one, is not so easy. Don't fool yourself. Then what does he say? O Arjuna, it is not proper to place your confidence in any kind of faith. It is not proper. Whatever, if some person who is having lot of name, fame, like so many people are coming on TV, and you follow any one of them, he is my guru. Many people say, I have made him my guru. And how did you make a guru? $500. And you became guru. You got initiated. That's pathetic. That's a transaction. See? So these people who are not ready, they want to, anyone who is pratisthit, anyone who is important, anyone who is more educated, anyone who has a large following, anyone who has some powers, we follow them. So Krishna is warning that don't follow blindly. Yes, faith is blind, no doubt, but don't follow. It is a difficult path. He says that it is not proper to place your confidence in any kind of faith. Just because sometimes when we go to see pujas so beautifully, the pujari is doing it or some person is doing it, and we feel inspired, I must also do it. And you come buy all the things and you start, but you don't have the acumen to do it. If you, like many people, what? The painting. Where I went to someone's house. If you go to someone's house and you see them painting, अरे यार easy है ये तो. And then you get inspired, you come home and you empty the room and you start painting, and you made a disaster because you don't have the flair, you don't have that soft touch. दबा दबा के दे दनादन, दीवारी टूट जाएगी. And you say, अरे how come 30-40 liters paint is over? Where did it all go? On one wall. See, just because someone is doing it, we cannot copy and follow that in our life. And this is what Krishna is, that don't put your faith in the wrong place. Confidence in any kind of faith. Does not a Brahmin become a Shudra in the company of a low caste person? Remember the story of Ajamil in Bhagavatam? He was a Vedic scholar. He was a teacher. And when he used to go from his village to another village where the Pathashala was, in between there was a forest. And one day he saw a tribal girl, and he could not forget her face, her body. And eventually he turned his whole life around, left his dad and mom, went and got married because he was captured by lust. Educated fellow. Don't we hear in our society also? Sannyasi is going the wrong way. What happened? What will be going on in the minds of all the devotees or people who were initiated by him? Imagine. So here he says that, does not a Brahmin become a Shudra in the company of a low caste person? That Ajamil, by the society, the village, and that village was made up of Brahma, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. He was not even allowed to be a Shudra. He was thrown out of the village and untouchable. Untouchable. See? And he had 9 children. Not 1, not 2, not 3. And by God's grace, he named the last one Narayana. And when he was about to die out of old age, or because of disease, I think because of disease, and he's on the deathbed, out of the old samskar, because he has studied the scriptures, he knows everything what is right, but he was living a desire oriented life for last so many years. But at the time of death, the old samskars came in front of his mind, and he was very much in love with the younger one, Narayana, 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 Narayana. So when he was experiencing the fear at the time of death, he called out Narayana. He called his son. But the Parshadas of the Lord Narayana, they came, and at that time the Yamadutas of the Yamraj, they also came, and they both are fighting. Yamadutas are saying, this fellow was a Brahmin and he is living a life of an untouchable. We have come to take him. And the Parshadas of the Narayana, they are saying, no, 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 how can you take? The last thought that he took, the last word that he uttered, the last thought that was in his mind was that of Narayana. So he is coming to Vaikuntha. And this fellow, Ajamil, he is lying on the deathbed, not breathing, and watching this drama going on, the altercation between the Yamadutas and the Parshadas. So they sent one messenger, go to Yamraj and tell him this is the position, now what should we do? So one person out of the Yamadutas goes to their boss, and the boss said, what? He took the name of Lord Narayana. Leave him alone. It is not our jurisdiction anymore. See? But can you guarantee if next moment is our last breath, will Narayana's name come out of our mouth or come in our mind? And then he attained, and then he is given the life back, and now he corrects his whole life. He leaves the home, becomes a sannyasi, and lives a life of repentance and sadhana, and eventually attains Vaikuntha. So that's what is given here in this particular example. Does not a Brahmin become a Shudra in the company of a low caste person? One should not drink anything from a liquor pot, even if it is the holy water of the Ganga. We all went to the Ganga ji, just now in January, February. We didn't take Johnny Walker black label bottles with us. Why you are taking these bottles? Oh, we want to bring Ganga Jal in it. Then what did we take? We took empty water bottles. See? So, no, I am drinking whiskey with Ganga Jal water in it. That is not spirituality. कहाँ से examples आ जाते हैं? हाँ? So here Bhagavan is telling that one should not drink anything from a liquor pot, even if it is the holy water of the Ganga. It is true that, so similarly, we must not listen to scriptures from a hypocrite. We must not listen to scriptures or go to satsang who does not believe in the Lord. We know people in Melbourne who do puja, on that day they don't drink or eat meat. Other days they will eat, drink and meat. Hypocrites. Same thing you will find in Badrinath and Kedarnath and everywhere. In Kali Yuga, all this is going on. But you go to them, what are you going to learn from them? Because they themselves are not adhering. They don't have the love for the Lord. They don't have the love for the Lord. They have love for name and fame. They have love for money. They want to improve the world. But they don't have love for the Lord. Otherwise, if that was the case, every professor of philosophy would be realized. Every pujari in the temple will be realized. But it is not so. I gave you my example. He's at $21,000 per year. 42,000. मेरा बैंड बाजा बनने वाला था बच गया. See, then I prayed to Lord, and then this journey, then doors opened by themselves. I did not find my teacher. It happened. It is true that the sandalwood is cool, but if it is set on fire and held in hand, will it not burn the fingers? Huh? So when we are obsessed by personality, when we are looking at the outward signs of a person and declare, this is a Mahatma, this is beautiful, this is a wonderful place. There are many places, even this time when we went to the temples, some temples you go in and straight away it pulls you within. It pulls you within. Some temples you go, you want to get out of the temples as quickly as possible. Why? Why that feeling? There also the Lord is there, there also the Lord is there. Something wrong must be going on in that temple. See? And it's not the Lord who is doing anything wrong. The pujari must be the wrong one. He must be involved in some unwanted practices. His intentions may not be pure. See? And then to such people, but we are after who is able to speak sweetly, who is able to perform everything in a grand manner, who is having 10,000 people to listen, and we think that is a great Mahatma. And the moment from far away it is cool. But as you come close to that person, then you come to know the truth. And then you come, many cases have come like this to us. Then they say, Swamiji, we wasted 10 years with that Mahatma. See? Who asked you to go there? You decided. Now, did you learn anything? If you had learned before itself, then it would not have taken you. You must be a tough nut to crack that it took you 10 years to change, to realize. See? No experiences in our life happen, we invoke it on ourselves. So that is what Krishna is warning Arjuna with regards to faith. That sandalwood is cool, but if it is on fire, you will not feel the coolness. If it is kept on your palm, you will feel the heat. If an alloy is added to pure gold while melting it, will not the gold become impure and cause a loss? True. So, Even if faith by itself is pure, it does not remain so when it becomes a part of a being. Faith as such is pure, but when it is colored, a being, an individual has a swabhav. When it is mixed with that swabhav, with what swabhav, with what bhav, with what intention, that faith is expressed, gets colored. Just like water has got no taste of its own, but it supports all the tastes. Depends what is it is mixed with. You put chili in it, it will become spicy water. If you put salt in it, it will become salty water. If you put sugar in it, it will become sugar water. You distill it, again you get water. But water is not having any taste. See? So faith is pure. But when it is colored with the bhavas, it becomes, naturally it will become sattvic, rajasic or tamasic, and many admixtures, many permutation combinations. So even if faith by itself is pure, it does not remain so when it becomes a part of a being. Then he says, no, he doesn't say anything. Now he'll say next week. It's already 9 o'clock. Yeah, how? So here Krishna is guiding Arjuna, not on one hand not to follow blindly anything. He's trying to explain him what is faith, because he asked that those people who do not follow the scriptures to the T, are they rajasic, tamasic or sattvic, rajasic or tamasic? So we'll continue this contemplation in our next class, which will be again on Thursday next week. Only for this week it is Tuesday. And from tomorrow onwards, tomorrow is Wednesday, right? Yeah. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday and Monday, 5 lectures in Hindi on Krishna Janmashtami. And then Saturday will be Bhagavatam as usual from 6:15 onwards. So we'll take it from there. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sit in silence for half a minute. Hari Om.